traffic signs, signals, and controls. H.T.S. is the abbreviation for Highway Transportation System. The signs and signals of the H.T.S. is a language that enables the state to communicate with drivers and also for drivers to communicate with each other. As a driver, you must learn the signs and signals. Some signs are called advice signs. These signs will advise you of possible hazards or conditions. Some signs are called command signs. These signs will command you to do or not do something immediately. Every language has its vocabulary. For example, if you travel to France, you will need to familiarize yourself with the French language to be able to communicate. The same goes for driving. For you to drive safely, you must learn the H.T.S. vocabulary, the signals, signs, curb markings, the printed word, different graphic designs, and shapes. For example, an upside-down red triangle means that you have to yield to vehicles. Or a more familiar sign such as a red light, which means you have to stop. Or the sound of a siren signifies the approaching of an emergency vehicle. Every country has developed its own H.T.S. language. If you move from one country to another, you need to familiarize yourself with the required vocabulary, or you might be putting yourself in danger. The speed limit signs are black and white. In most of the world, speed is measured in kilometers per hour. But in the United States, speed is measured in miles per hour. As a driver, you are responsible to learn the local H.T.S. language until such a time when we have a universal standard H.T.S. language, signs, signals, and curb markings. You need to familiarize yourself with all the traffic devices, laws, and signals, which will enable you as a driver, pedestrian, or bicyclist to move safely from one point to another. This section informs you of what the different colors and patterns used in road signs mean to motorists. Colored pavement can help you identify special local, state, and federal ordinances that apply to parking, such as disabled parking only. The color of the curb can also help you identify the length of time you are allowed to park in a certain area. Bold white lines are used to indicate the edge of the pavement when there are no curbs. Cones, arrows, road barriers, or painted arrows and markings note obstructions. As a driver, you should be familiar with the following information. Curb markings. A painted curb means that you must follow special rules to park there. The color on curbs means white. You may stop only long enough to pick up or drop off passengers or mail, usually at airport passenger terminals. Green. You may park for a limited time. The time is usually shown on a sign next to the green zone or painted on the curb. Yellow. You may stop here only long enough to load or unload passengers or freight. No longer than posted. Drivers of non-commercial vehicles are usually required to stay with their vehicles. Red. No stopping, standing, or parking. A bus may stop at a red zone marked for buses. Blue. This indicates parking for the disabled only. You must have a disabled person parking placard, window sign, or disabled person or disabled veteran license plates. Parking your vehicle. When you park or stop upon a roadway where there are adjacent curbs, the vehicle shall be stopped or parked with the right-hand wheels parallel with and within 18 inches of the right-hand curb, except that motorcycles shall be parked with at least one wheel or fender touching the right-hand curb. Never leave your car unattended within 15 feet of a fire hydrant. Always check that your car is in the park before you exit. It is a good idea to apply the parking brake. When parking on an incline, turn the steering wheel so that your tires are pointing away from the curb. If you park alongside a curb with your car facing downhill, You should set the parking brake and turn the wheels into the curb. Towards the curb. Prohibited parking. It is illegal to park on a sidewalk, on a bridge or in a tunnel, in front of a private or public driveway, within the boundaries of an intersection, within 20 feet of a crosswalk or directly on top of it, within 15 feet of a fire hydrant, on any freeway or interstate highway, except for an emergency, in any area with signs prohibiting parking, within 50 feet of a railroad crossing, in a way that makes you a hazard to other cars. Emergency parking. If it becomes necessary for you to leave your vehicle parked where it shouldn't normally be, use the following tips. Pull off the road as far as possible onto the shoulder and away from any traffic. Pull as close as you can to the curb if one is available. Put your car in park and apply your parking brake. Turn off the engine. Set your parking brake. Shift into park or leave the vehicle in gear, for manual transmission. And turn off the engine. Lock your vehicle. Set out proper emergency signals. Roundabouts. An intersection control device that has traffic moving around a center island is called a roundabout. Roundabouts are designed to control the flow of traffic and help reduce traffic congestion. As you enter a roundabout, you must yield to traffic already in the intersection. Yield to any pedestrians and bicyclists that may be using the roundabout. As well, enter the roundabout to the right of the center island. Traffic moves in a counterclockwise direction. When you approach a roundabout, look for posted signs to help identify which way you want to go. Obey the signs and position yourself in the correct lane to enter. Slow down and yield to traffic in the roundabout. Remember, a roundabout is designed for vehicles to travel at speeds of approximately 15 to 20 miles per hour. Driving any faster can be dangerous. Wait until there is a gap in traffic before you enter. And once you are in the roundabout, do not stop. Continue around the circle until you reach the exit you want to take. If you miss it, continue around the circle again until you get back to it. Never back up in a roundabout. When you drive in a roundabout, remember to yield to vehicles already in the intersection as they have the right of way. Also, watch for larger vehicles and trucks. They may make wider turns, so avoid passing them when you are in the roundabout. If you see an emergency vehicle, pull to the right if possible or exit the roundabout. Do your best to allow them to pass by you. If you are a pedestrian using the roundabout, make sure to only cross in designated areas where there is a crosswalk. Bicyclists should also follow the traffic laws of a roundabout.